Good evening and welcome to The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare as staged by the School of Law, Christ University. I extend a very warm welcome to our Vice Chancellor, Colonel Father Dr. Thomas E. Matthew, our Director of the School of Law, Father Benny Thomas, all parents, students, and other guests who are here this evening. With the staging of this production, the School of Law has unearthed an immense amount of talent within the law school with regard to acting, music, composition, and management. Not a word to be bandied around with, justice has been used to justify a slew of actions. For example, cutting a pound of flesh from another man's chest, as we will shortly see in The Merchant of Venice. What this play tells us is that justice must be given to one and all, and what we learn from this play is that all of us as people must understand and realize the importance of logic and the application of wisdom to our roles in society. Without further ado, let us all discover justice in The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare.
In the old Venetian land lived Antonio, whose heart both noble and grand, keen to serve Bassanio, who in Portia found true love, gamble with that Jew, and a large price to pay. Will justice set right what fate will have otherwise?
I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you, but how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it is made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want with sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean, there where your argosies with portly sail, like signors and rich burghers on the flood. Or, as it were, the pageants of the sea, do overpeer the petty traffickers that curtsy to them, do them reverence, as they fly by them with their woven wings.
Believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, peering in maps for ports and piers and roads, and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad.
My wind, cooling my broth, would blow me to an ague, when I thought, what harm a wind too great might do at sea? I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand, wailing her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which, touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices on the stream, enrobe the roaring waters with my silks, and in a word, but even now worth this and now worth nothing? Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? But tell not me. I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise.
Leave me, no. I thank my fortune for it, for my ventures are not in one bottom trusted, not one place upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why? Then you are in love.
Fie.
Not in love, neither. Then let us say you are sad, because you are not merry. And 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry, because you are not sad. Now, by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed some strange fellows in her time, some that will evermore peep through their eyes, and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and other of such vinegar aspect that they'll not show their teeth in way of smile. Though Nestor swear, the jest be laughable. Ah, here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. Fare ye well. We leave you now with better company.
I would have stayed till I had made you merry, if worthier friends had not prevented me.
Your worth is very dear in my regard. I take it your own business calls on you, and you embrace the occasion to depart.
Good morrow, my good lords.
Good, signors, both. When shall we laugh? Say when! You grow exceeding strange. Must it be so?
We'll make our leisures to attend on yours.
My lord Bassanio, since you found Antonio, we too will leave you. But at dinner time, I pray you have in mind where we must meet.
I will not fail you.
You look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it, that do buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvelously changed.
I hold the world, but as the world, Gratiano, a stage where every man must play a part, and mine, a sad one.
Let me play the fool with mirth and laughter. Let old wrinkles come, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groans. Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire cut in alabaster, sleep when he wakes, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish. I'll tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and 'tis my love that speaks. There are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle, like a standing pond, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, and profound conceit. But fish not for this melancholy bait, for this fool gudgeon, this opinion. Come, good Lorenzo. Very well a while. I'll end my exhortation after dinner.
Well, we will leave you then, till dinner time. I must be one of these same dumb wise men, for Graciano never lets me speak.
Well, keep me company, but 2 years more. Thou shalt not know the sound of thine own tongue.
Fare you well. I'll grow a talker for this gear.
Thanks of faith, for silence is only commendable in a neat's tongue dried, and a maid not vendible.
It is that nothing now.
Graciano speaks an infinite deal of nothing. More than any man in all Venice. His reasons are as 2 grains of wheat hidden 2 bushels of chaff. You shall seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they are not worth the search.
Well, tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of?
'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate for something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come fairly of the great debt where in my time something too prodigal hath left me gauged. To you, Antonio, I owe the most, in money and in love, and from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes. How to get clear of the great debt that I owe?
I pray you, good Bassanio, let me know it. And if it stand, as you yourself still do, within the eye of honor, be assured my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasion.
In my school days, when I had often lost a shaft, I shot his fellow the self-same flight, the self-same way, with more advised watch. Thus I found both, and I urge this childhood proof, for what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you please shoot another arrow, that self-same way in which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt as I will watch the aim, to find the other or bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest debtor for the first.
You know me well, and herein spend but time to wind about my love, and out of doubt you do me now more wrong in making question of my uttermost than if you had made waste of all I have. Then do but say to me what I should do, that in your knowledge may by me be done, and I am pressed unto it. Therefore speak.
In Belmont is a lady, richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia. Nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus's Portia. Nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth. For the four winds blowing from every coast renown its suitors. And her sunny locks hang on a temple like a golden fleece. Oh my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them. I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest that all my fortunes are at sea. Neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do. I shall be racked even to the uttermost. I shall furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go presently inquire, and so will I, where money is, and I no question make to have it of my trust, or for my sake.
By my troth, Nerissa, my little body is aweary of this great world.
You would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. And yet, for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing. It is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean. Superfluity comes sooner by white hair, but competency lives longer.
Good sentences, and well pronounced.
They would be better if well followed.
If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches, and poor men's cottages princes' palaces. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done, than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps o'er a cold decree.
Oh, my lady.
Such a hair is madness, the youth, to skip all the measures of good counsel, the cripple. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh, me! The word choose. I may neither choose who I would, nor refuse who I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one, nor refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their death have good inspirations. Therefore the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning, chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who shall rightly love. But what want is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come?
I pray thee overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection.
First, there is the Neapolitan prince.
Aye, that's a colt indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse, and he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can shoe him himself. I am much afeard, my lady, his mother played false with a smith.
Then there is the Count Palatine.
He doth nothing but frown, as who should say, you will not have me choose. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I had rather be married to a death's head with a bone in his mouth than to either of these. God defend me from these 2.
How say you by the French lord, Monsieur Le Bon?
God made him, and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why, he hath a horse better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the County Palatine. He is every man and no man. If a throstle sing, he falls straight a capering. He will fence with his own shadow. If he would despise me, I would forgive him, for if he love me to madness, I shall never requite him.
What say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England?
You know I say nothing to him, for he understands not me, nor I him. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and swear that I have a poor pennyworth in the English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? How oddly he is suited. I think he bought his doublet in Italy. his round hose in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his behavior everywhere.
How like you, the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew?
Very vilely in the morning, when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon, when he is drunk. When he is best, he is a little worse than a man, and when he is worst, he is a little better than a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell, I hope I shall make shift to go without him.
If he should offer to choose, and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within, and that temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa, ere I will be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords, for they have acquainted me with their determination, which is to indeed return to their home, and trouble you with no more suit, unless you may be won by some other sort than the imposition depending on your father's caskets.
If I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless I be obtained by the manner of my father's will. I am glad this parcel of wooers are so reasonable, for there's not one among them but I dote on his very absence, and I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier that came hither in the company of the Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, it was Bassanio, as I think so as he called.
True, madam. He of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon was the best deserving a fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. How now, what news?
4 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner come from a 5th, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word, his master, the Prince, will be here tonight.
If I could bid the 5th welcome with so good a heart as I bid the other 4 farewell, I should be glad of his approach. If he have the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I'd rather he shrive me than wive me. Come, Nerissa, Sirrah, go before. Whilst we shuts the gates upon one wooer, another knocks at the door.
1,000 ducats. Well,
Aye, sir, for 3 months.
for 3 months. Well,
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound.
May you stead me. Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer?
3,000 ducats for 3 months, and Antonio bound.
Your answer to that.
Antonio is a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying that he is a good man is to have you understand me, that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to the Tripoli's, another to the Indies. I understand, moreover, that upon the Rialto he had a third at Mexico, a fourth at England, and other ventures he hath squandered abroad. But ships, but boats, sailors, but men, there'll be land rats, water rats, land thieves, and water thieves. I mean pirates. And then there is the peril of water, winds, and rocks. The man is notwithstanding sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
Oh, be assured you may.
I will be assured that I may, and I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak to Antonio?
If it please you to dine with us.
Yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet, the Nazarite, conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, walk with you, talk with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is he? Comes here.
This is Senor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian. But more, for in low simplicity he lends out money gratis, and brings down the rate of usions here with us in Venice. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails even there where merchants most do congregate on me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls as interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him.
Shylock, you hear?
I am debating of my present store, and by the nearest guess of my memory, I cannot instantly erase a full gross of 3,000 ducats. Oh well, what of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, will furnish me. But soft, how many months do you desire? Rest you, fair good senor. Your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow, by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the ripe wants of my friend, I shall break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much he would?
3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months?
For 3 months, I had forgot. You told me so. Well then, your bond. And let me see. But here you, methought you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
When Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob from our holy Abraham, as his wise mother wrote in his behalf, was the third possessor. Aye, he was the third.
And what often? Did he take interest?
No, not take interest. Not as you would say, directly interest. Mark what Jacob did. When Laban and himself were compromised, that all the inlings which were streaked and pied should fall as Jacob's hire, the ewes being rank in the end of the autumn turned to the rams. And in the doing, and when the work of generation between these woolly breeders was in the act, the skillful shepherd filled me certain wants. And in the doing of the deed of kind, he stuck them up against fulsome ewes, who then did conceiving in evening time fall party-colored lambs. And those were Jacob's. And he was blessed. Thrift is blessing, if a man steal it not.
This was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for, a thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good? Or is your gold and silver ewes and rams?
I cannot tell, but I make them breeders fast. But not me, senor.
Mark you this, Bassanio. The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood hath.
3,000 ducats. It is a good round sum. 3 months from 12, and let me say the rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you?
Senor Antonio, many a time and oft you have rated me of my monies and my usances. Still, I have borne it with a patient shrug, because sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You called me a misbeliever, a cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use which is mine own. Well, now it appears you need my help. Go to then You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have monies. You say so. You that did ream upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur upon your threshold. Monies is your suit. What shall I say to you? Shall I not say, hot a dog money? Is it possible that a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key with bated breath and whisper in humbleness, say this, fair sir, you spit on me Wednesday last, spurned me such a day, another time you called me a dog, and for all these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much money.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friends. For when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend? But lend it rather to thine enemy, who if he breaks, thou mayst with better face exact the penalty.
Why, look how you storm. I'll be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames you have stained me with. Supply your present wants, and take no doit for my monies and my usances. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to the notary. Seal me there. And in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day, such time, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh to be cut off and taken from what part of your body pleaseth me.
Content, ye faith. I'll seal to such a bond, and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I shall rather dwell in my necessity.
Why, fear not, man. Within these 2 months, that's a month before the bond expires, I do expect return 3 times, thrice the amount of this bond.
Oh, Father Abraham, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them to suspect the thoughts of others. Pray you, tell me this. If he shall break his day, what shall I gain from the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so estimable, profitable neither, as flesh of muttons, goats, and beefs, I say. To earn his friendship, I extend this favor. If he will take it so, if not, adieu. But for my love, I pray thee, wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I will seal unto this bond.
Well, then meet me forthwith at the notary's. Give him direction of this merry bond, and I'll go and parse the ducat straight, and look to my house left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave. And presently I'll be with you.
Hie thee, gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
Oh, Antonio, I like not fair terms and a villain's mind.
Well, in this there can be no dismay. My ships arrive a month before the day.
Mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun, to whom I am a neighbor and near bred. Bring me the fairest creature northward born, where Phoebus' fire scarce thaws the icicles, and let us make incision for your love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. By my love I swear the best regarded virgins of our clan have loved it too. I would not change this hue, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle queen.
In terms of choice, I'm not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me, and hedged me by his wit to yield myself his wife, who wins me by that means I told you, yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I have looked on yet, for my affection.
Even for that, I thank you. Therefore, I pray you, lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. By this scimitar that slew the Sophie and a Persian prince, that won 3 fields of Sultan Suleiman, I would awe stare the sternest eyes that look. Out brave the heart most daring on the earth, pluck the young sucking cubs from the she-bear, yea, mock the land when he roars for prey, to win thee, lady. But alas the while, if Hercules and Lycus play at dice, which is the better man? The greater throw may turn by fortune from the weaker hand. So was Alcides beaten by his rage, and so may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which one unworthier may attain, and die with grieving.
You must take your chance, and either not attempt to choose at all, or swear before you choose, if you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in way of marriage. Therefore be advised.
Nor will not. Come, bring me unto my chance.
First, forward to the temple. After dinner your hazard shall be made.
Good fortune then, to make me blessed or cursedest among men.
Me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me,
Jobbe, Launcelot, Jobbe. Good Jobbe, or good Launcelot, or good Launcelot, Jobbe. Use your legs. Take the start. Run away.
But my conscience says,
No, take heed, honest Launcelot. Take heed, honest Jobbe.
or as aforesaid, honest Launcelot Jobbe, do not run, scorned running with thy heels. The most courageous fiend bids me pack. Where, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend. And run. My conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says very wisely to me,
My honest friend Launcelot,
being an honest man's son, or rather, an honest woman's son, for indeed, my father was into something, smack, something, grow to. He had a kind of taste. Well, my conscience says, Launcelot, budge not. But, says the fiend, budge not, says my conscience. Conscience, I say, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. Certainly, the Jew is the very devil incarnation. And in my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience to offer to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives more friendly counsel. I will run, fiend. My heels are at your commandment. I will run.
Master, young man, I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews?
Oh heavens, this is my true begotten father, who being more than sand blind, high gravel blind, knows me not. I will try confusions with him.
Master, young gentleman, I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews?
Turn up at your right hand at the next turning. But at the next turning of all on your left, marry. But at the very next turning, turn of no hand, but turn down indirectly to the Jew's house.
By God, Saunties, it will be a hard way to hit. Can you tell me whether one Launcelot that dwell with him or no?
Talk you of young Master Launcelot? Mark me now. Now will I raise the waters. Talk you of young Master Launcelot?
No master, sir, but a poor man's son. His father, though I said, is an honest, exceeding poor man. And God be thanked, well to live.
Well, let his father be what he will. We talk of young Master Launcelot.
Your worship's friend, and Launcelot, sir.
But I pray you, ergo, old man, I beseech you, talk you of young Master Launcelot.
Of Launcelot, and it please your mastership.
Ergo, Master Launcelot, talk not of Master Launcelot, father. For the young gentleman, according to fates and destinies, and such odd sayings, the sisters three, and such branches of learning, is indeed deceased. Or else you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven.
Mary, God forbid. The boy was the very staff of my age, my very prop.
Do I look like a cudgel or a hovel-post, a staff or a prop? Do you know me, father?
Lack the day, I know you not, young gentleman. But I pray you tell me, is my boy, God rest his soul, alive or dead?
Do you not know me, father?
Alack, sir, I am sand blind. I know you not.
Nay, indeed, if you had your eyes, you might fail of the knowing me. 'Tis a wise father that knows his own child. Well, old man, I will tell you news of his son, but give me your blessing. Truth will come to light. Murder cannot be hid long. A man's son may, but at length truth will out.
Pray you, sir, stand up. I cannot think you are Launcelot. My